Guys, I have a problem. I have a serious problem, and it's an obsession. I cannot stop analyzing and critical thinking and going over this stuff over and over again. So I'm going to give it to you guys. This one is a meat and potatoes one. This one is chocked full of stuff. If there's any one video you want to watch on these quarterbacks for this draft, this is the one. And I mean that 100%. I have gone crazy this last week from Bonix's pro day to Caleb Williams' pro day, and now jjmccarthy's pro day, and we still have Jaydendaniels and drakemaye next week. So I'm not done, but all week this week, it's driven me nuts since we started these pro days. I've absolutely been going crazy. And for those of you who understand, who see this obsession, who want to just dive in, I I can't help it. And so hopefully, if you haven't done what I'm doing, you can benefit from what I'm doing, and you can just see what I'm doing, and you can enjoy it. If you're like me, share some of your thoughts of what you've seen. Because what I've done now is I've gone through a complete statistical analysis of every one of them over this last season. Every single one of them. And I'm narrowing it down to the top 5 because these guys are all right now round 1 projections. That's what this is. And I understand some of you want to see Michael Penix, but right now with his injury history, he is not considered a top round pick. And so it's not really in my radar that the Bears could go after him. All these guys, I understand. Maybe J.J. McCarthy and maybe bonix aren't really on the Bears' radar. And if they did select them, it would be career suicide. Because the top 3 have kind of separated themselves. And how much do they lean on the media and the national pundits and their narratives? And if they go outside of those 3, are they going to be crucified for that? I don't know. But I'm going to show you in this, each one of these guys, their statistical breakdown, how they compare against each other, and then a short analysis from my film of what I've watched so far. I haven't gone deep on all of them, but I did a clear slate today, and I said, okay, I'm going to watch certain things today, give a basic background, and there was no bias. And you'll see that by my end result, there was no bias. Because obviously you guys know I was a Justin Fields fan. He's gone. He's out the window. He's gone. He's out the door. He's no coming back. I'm moved on. I'm past it. My Justin Fields jersey is in the closet. He's over. At this point, this is who I am. I'm a statistical, analytical, a breakdown guy who wants to make sure it's right. I am not a lemming. I do not jump on the bandwagons. I do not jump to the next hot thing. I don't just say, okay, Caleb Williams, because everybody else is saying Caleb Williams. I want to understand. So here are the 5 guys. We've shown this before. This is from Draft Buzz, NFL Draft Buzz. So here's Caleb Williams. There's drakemaye. There's Jaydendaniels. J.J. McCarthy, and bonix, in the order of how their most likely consensus draft stock is. This is where they stand. So I did this the other week. This isn't, to me, accurate as I went over it the last couple days, because not all these things should be weighted equally as to what's important in an NFL quarterback. So I did all these things, and I gave them a rating scale, and I went 1 through 5. And it's just kind of a nerdy thing to do. There's no NFL perfect basis behind it. It is just a thing that I did. Because obviously, if you look on here, some things are more important than others. Their passing, their release speed. Is their height and weight really that important? Not really. Their rushing and scramble ability? Not really. And so I kind of broke it down to what was most important out of this graph. And really, it's their passing and their release speed. The biggest knock on Justin Fields was his release speed. And so this is according to NFL Draft Buzz, but then I said, what else is important? What are the most important things outside of this? And so I took the other factors and I decided to narrow this down and give better gradings for, number 1, NFL passer rating, 2, their effectiveness, basically how accurate they are, adjusted completion percentage. You guys know from my channel, I've broken that down, and it's more important to me than their completion percentage. So adjusted completion percentage. Number 3, the biggest knock on Justin Fields, time to throw. Getting it out. Number 4, turnover-worthy plays. Are they protecting the ball? Are they smart with the ball? How many of those plays are turnover-worthy? Number 5, their PFF grade. They give a very, I realize PFF isn't the end-all, be-all, but they do give a very generalized good grade on where people stand. And if you look at the NFL level and the college level, it really does fit. Your best quarterbacks and your best players overall tend to have the better grades. So it is effective. And then last, their elusiveness grade. So more than their scramble ability, I want their elusiveness grade. How well do they avoid the sacks? How well do they avoid issues when they arise to escape and either throw it away or throw it downfield. So those are what I graded them on. And I'm not even going to go step by step because I don't want this to be super long. I want you to get meat and potatoes out of it. Here's the end result. Here it is. And you can see the little blue bracket. And if you don't, I'll go through one by one. The little blue bracket is number 1 at each one. And there's a very clear theme as you go through this. So on release speed, number 1 was bonix. And I'm going to tell you from the tape I've watched, bonix stands out with how fast he gets it out. Not just that, how accurate and how much he plays with timing. His anticipation is phenomenal. What I'm watching so far, I'm going to be honest, I've glazed over. I overlooked bonix because he was projected for the end of the first round. That's not where the Bears are picking. They're picking at the top of the first round. So I didn't give him as much credence. I've gone back and watched his pro day. I've gone back and watched several film on him. I've watched several analysts on him, and I'm impressed. All right, number 2, short passing. So passing within that 1 to 10 yard frame, right within the line of scrimmage. Number 1 was Jaydendaniels. Medium passing, number 1, Jaydendaniels. Long passing, number 1, Jaydendaniels. So passing, as far as this year, Jaydendaniels was number 1. All right, let's go down to the new ones. The PFF stats, the stats of their metrics. NFL passer rating, number 1, Jaydendaniels. Adjusted completion percent, so the most accurate quarterback. And just what I said from his film, bonix. And it wasn't even close. 85.5% adjusted completion percentage. Time to throw, wasn't even close. Bonix, 2.44. 2.44 seconds. We talk about Justin Fields and the issues he had, what the Bears are looking for. 2.44 seconds. Turnover-worthy plays. Bonix, number 1, 1%. PFF grade, Jaydendaniels, 94.7. Elusiveness grade, Jaydendaniels, 77.8. And then their overall total, low points is the best. So bottom right there, low points is the best because 1 is the best, and then you're tallying all these up. Jaydendaniels had 17 total points. So here's where they all stood. Caleb Williams, 41. Drakemaye, 32. Jaydendaniels, 17. jjmccarthy, 37. bonix, 21. All right. Now, I've had several people say to me, well, what about passing over the middle? Because that's somewhere that Justin Fields struggled over the middle this year. We can blame that on Getsy. We can blame it on different things. Opening up concept, getting the linebackers to move out of the box. Lots of different things. So here is one of theirs. I just picked one at random, to be honest, and it ended up I think it was jjmccarthy's. Either way. So here's a passing concept of all the different areas. So I'm going to break down where each one excelled and then the worst at each position. So number 1, top left, you see the outside left, deep balls. This is 20-plus yards. Outside left, the best was Jaydendaniels with a 151.4 NFL passer rating, 9 for 13, 359 yards, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. Worst was bonix, but only at 106.6, so it's not really a horrible thing. All right, next, over the middle, deep, 20-plus yards. Between the numbers, 15 of 18, 676 yards, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, 158.3 NFL pass rating. That's phenomenal. That's Caleb Williams. Worst was Drakemaye at 117.2, so still not horrible. When you're in the 117, 100 plus, it's not really that bad. So none of these guys are horrible, but obviously Caleb Williams excelled. All right, next we're going to go deep right on the outside, which is interesting that Caleb Williams was worst here, and it was bad, 79.9. Deep right, not good for Caleb Williams. Outside right, phenomenally good for Jaydendaniels. 14 of 20, 506 yards, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions, 152.1 NFL passer rating. Okay, we're going to keep flying through these. I just want you guys to get an idea. And one thing that's standing out, if you can see it, there's no clear-cut guy that's consistently number 1 in every one of these. All right, over the middle, outside left, the worst was Caleb Williams, 43.0, and it was bad. The best, Drakemaye, 13 of 19, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 135.9 NFL pass rating. This is 11 to 20 yards on the left side. All right, one of the most important ones, because this is where everyone criticized criticized Justin Fields. Across the middle, right over the linebackers, where it's most important, hardest to get in. Jaydendaniels, 23 of 35, 471 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, 136.6 NFL passer rating. The worst, Caleb Williams, 88.6. All right, across the middle, over to the right, 11 to 20 yards. All right, number 1, jjmccarthy, 11 of 11, 209 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 149.1 NFL passer rating. Worst, and it was bad. He missed so many passes going to the right side. 28.2 NFL pass rating for Drakemaye. All right, short passes, short to the left. This is 0 to 10 yards. This is a very important area of the field, and you're going to see, I'm blowing it right now, Caleb Williams dominated this area for all of them. Okay, Caleb Williams, 17 of 21, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 126.8 NFL pass rating. 82 point, or worse was Drakemaye, 81.9. All right, across the middle short, Caleb Williams, 70 of 88, 729 yards, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 127.7 NFL passer rating. Worst, jjmccarthy, 106.2. What this is showing right now, and this shows I'm not being biased on this, guys, because I had the misconception that Caleb Williams always played hero ball and had to go deep, where he struggled in the middle of the field, and that's a lot of what I saw. He struggled over the 11 to 20 yard range, but deep left, he was very effective. Deep right, really ineffective. Sorry, deep center, he was the most effective. Really killed teams there playing hero ball. But in this short range, 0 to 10 yards, he really set himself apart from everybody. So we're going to go short right now. Again, Caleb Williams, 21 of 25, 153 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 105.5 pass rating. Worst was Drakemaye at 81.9. Oh, not Drakemaye. I didn't change the name there. My bad. It was jjmccarthy. I put Drakemaye. It was jjmccarthy. All right, and the last one, behind the line of scrimmage, we're going to screen plays or short dump plays. These aren't as important to me. I just put the most consistent guy here. You can see Jaydendaniels didn't miss a pass. It was, I mean, really, this is equal on all of them, though. So 2 of 2 of the left, 41 41, 1 of 1. Even if you look at jjmccarthy there, 28 of 29, 1 of 1, up above. They were all very equal, but Jaydendaniels was perfect, didn't have any issues there. So that's where I put him. All right. So after the initial round of unbiased evaluation and basic overview of tape, who's my favorite so far? And I promise you guys are going to be shocked because I talked about Jaydendaniels this last week, talked about my concerns with Caleb Williams, talked about jjmccarthy this last week. I'm talking about all of them, guys, and I'm not trying to push one agenda with any of them. Who set themselves aside for me, 100% was bonix. 100%. And if you guys go watch his tape, you're going to see the same thing that I'm seeing as I've been watching his tape. He is clean, he's crisp, he's accurate, and he anticipates better than anybody else that I'm seeing in this draft class. He is absolutely a phenomenal quarterback that I've been overlooking. Am I pushing for him to be the Bears quarterback right now? No. I'm right now saying this is who's setting themselves apart for me. I'm not an Oregon Duck fan. I'm not having any agenda for him or against Caleb Williams or anyone else. I'm telling you what I've seen right here when I've seen how they've graded out this year at all the different metrics, his release speed, his anticipation, his NFL passer rating, his adjusted completion percentage, his time to throw, his turnover-worthy plays. He protects the ball. He anticipates well. He's crisp. He's clean. He's accurate. I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing on tape from bonix. It makes me want to dive deeper. So I'm going to keep watching. So this weekend, I got some family things. I'm doing this right now, guys, at 3 in the morning. This is what I'm doing. There's something wrong with me. I'm literally insane in the men brain. I've got something wrong with me where I'm consumed by this. I want the Bears to make the right pick. I really want them to get it right. And I think there really is 3 to 4 really solid quarterbacks that can really, really have good year. I think this could be the 2020 class where you've got a Justin Herbert, where you've got a Joe Burrow, where you've got a Tua Tagovailoa. I think there's some guys here that could have solid NFL careers. And as I'm looking at the tape more and more, and I'm watching these things, and I'm looking at their metrics and how they compare to each other, I'm impressed. I right now, if you were to ask me, I want the Bears to look harder at bonix. And if it is bonix, it comes back into play for this thing right here. 1-1 being traded down. And then it's going to be a gut feel for Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham to say, how far can we go down past that? Because if other teams aren't valuing bonix, if he's really a consensus outside the top 10 pick, we could trade down and get another haul. And we could get Jackson Powers Johnson, his center from college. We can get bonix in the first round and have literally 3 or 4 other second-round picks, 3 third-round picks, and 3 future first-round picks. But I know if the Bears see this in him, then other teams are too, and they're not going to risk taking down that far. Maybe down to 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. They're not going to risk going deeper. They would just pick him if they love him that much. Problem is, I don't know if the Bears do. Ryan Poles didn't even go to his pro day. Eberflus did. Quarterback coach did. Other scouts did. But Ryan Poles didn't. And that makes me think this isn't even on the table. The guy who's impressing me, the guy I like, literally has a 0.01% chance of becoming the Bears quarterback if we're reading the tea leaves. And who does right now is Caleb Williams, which I'm not hurt over. I don't have a problem with Caleb Williams, but as I'm looking at all this stuff, he's not as NFL ready as everyone makes him seem like he is. But bonix is. And Jaydendaniels really is right behind him. But Jaydendaniels, I'm watching on tape, he is having issues sacrificing his body and not playing an NFL way and not so he anticipates super well. But sometimes when that pocket collapses, he takes off like Justin Fields earlier than he should. And that's why his time to throw is 2.91. The only one worse was Caleb Williams at 3.16. And he escapes a ton of that, and he gets a lot of runs. He had over 1,200 yards, 1,250 to be exact, I think. So there's a lot to like about Jaydendaniels, but that game probably won't translate that running game into the NFL. But his deep balls, his over-the-middle balls, his everything about his throws are clean and crisp and pure. I love it. But bonix is really setting himself apart. Anybody who's been watching the same stuff, who's been analyzing it, who's been watching tape, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know why Caleb Williams is so high for some of you guys. I'm telling you right now, for me, it's after watching these short plays for Caleb Williams, he does look crisper. And then when I take this analysis and then I take it and watch the tape on it, it confirms it. And so there is a lot to be excited about Caleb Williams. But the most consistent player, literally number 2 in almost every category. I think he was top left. He was last, but it was like his top left isn't bad. Everyone was good there. And the places where everybody else was bad, where there were issues, bonix didn't have those issues. I'm really, really impressed with bonix right now. And if that leads to the Bears getting a haul, man, I'm all in favor for that. Man, I'm just torn now. I shouldn't have done this because now it just tears me even more. And it makes me think this is impossible. This is not going to happen. The Bears aren't going to go this route. And that's so frustrating for me because I'm seeing things that I really like. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking, how you view it, how you analyze it. Be open to it. That's the biggest thing right now because I want to have an open mind, really analyze this with clarity and not have a bias. And I did that, and it changed my view of where I stand right now. We'll see where it stands in a week from now, a month from now, how it changes. But as of right now, this is where I stand, and I'm actually happy with my feelings on it. So until next time, bear down.